Good morning, beautiful people. How are you doing? Leo, Pooks,
Morning, morning. Good morning,
you good?
everybody. How are we doing, everybody? Happy Tuesday morning is it for London session here.
Damn, people are getting blessed today with you as well.
Oh my
For those of you that don't know, Leo fell in love with the London woman and is constantly in London.
God.
Um, so he gets to bless us with the London session probably more frequently, would you say?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. That's true.
We were joking about Leo buying a house in London soon because he's there so much. Bro,
Definitely for London streets though,
what is
right?
this overnight move?
I know it's insane.
What are
Asia
you
also
think?
too.
What are you thinking?
I mean, as of right now, major thing I'm seeing is we do have some major SMT between YM and Nasdaq up at these highs. Asia is quite expansive, especially after manipulating the PM session lows here. So
Give me a
as of
sec. Gav, show Leo screen for us.
yeah, as of right now, kind of what I'm looking for at the moment is I'm looking to see probably prices move higher as of right now. Reason being, we're currently rejecting off of a large hourly imbalance that formed on YM and NASDAQ here, failed to inverse below it. So as of right now, what I'd like to see is ideally see higher prices move back into these Asia highs during London session. If this fair value decides to hold. If not, honestly, Asia lows are going to be my next watch. But as of right now, we do have this major SMT forming at the highs between NAS and NAS and YM right now, which is currently what I'm looking to see, especially since it is SMT between NASDAQ, ES, and YM at the moment. So we'll kind of see how we can play around that. But as of right now, Asia was quite expansive, so I'm not expecting London to move too aggressively at the moment. Although I would like to see a slow grind up to Asia session if this hourly fair value does hold. Kind of what I'm looking to see here as of right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, typically, if I would come to the market like during London session right now, I would expect continuation, and in pretty much all situations, I would look to fade it. Like, I would look to just ignore it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like the 4 hour swing to the upside.
Mhm.
I would like to play longs off of the low, and if we continue breaking, then it's like a sign that Asia's like next, and I would just try and get into it in any way. But right now, we're in this sideways movement, and yeah, I agree with you that it's not really the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially typically after expansive Asia sessions like we saw. Asia moved quite aggressively today, comparison to usual. So we'll see what happens, but expecting a bit of consolidation. It'd be nice if we could manipulate out the 1 a.m. low, and then target some longs off of that too. That wouldn't be too bad, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's my plan really. And until then, I think I don't know. I would really just sit and watch it. It's really going to be a bit more of a boring session.
Definitely.
Um, but I'm not gonna put money on it just for the sake of it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a smart game plan there. Good morning though, everybody. How's everybody's weeks of trading going? How was the Monday session for everyone so far? We staying good? Are we staying clear of our rules? Are we being smart individuals? That's the next question here, right?
Being smart individuals.
Being smart individuals today. Here as well, gold. I'm looking at gold and silver here as well. Starting to pull into this 4 hour fair value on GC. Silver as well. Looks like we might form an SMT within the gap fill here soon. Yesterday was nice. Happy to hear it. Happy to hear it. Looks like we had some people stick to their rules. How is Leo up? I am in London currently. I promise I'm not up at 1 at 2 a.m. West Coast time. I'm not that insane.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nuts to be honest.
Could you imagine? Get up wicked early. Oh gosh.
That'd be crazy. That'd be commitment, you know? That'd be commitment. Yeah, I think if we can see oil roll in some capacity today, like oil's already taken the high and already basically traded through most of yesterday's daily range overnight. Um, Obviously, I know that this move is obviously oil driven, but if it can continue to the downside, which is kind of framing the exact same thing that we're saying on NQ is just upside in indices, then I think we can start to get some sort of small time frame bottom on on indices. Like we swept that previous day low yesterday, overnight, sorry, practically at the open, like, 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And then just this rally out. And now we've just been slow sideways. And I would expect them to either just kill it or rally it off that on at 1 a.m. low. And between now and then, it's just going to be a snooze fest of trying to figure out what's going on or patiently waiting for it.
Definitely. And then also from the commodity side here as well, gold and silver both formed a pretty large 4 hour fair value gap off the 6 o'clock 4 hour. As of right now, gold is actually about to retrace into this 4 hour fair value. Silver is continuing higher off this move. So we might form a major SMT divergence within this gap fill here, which could be good for grabbing continuation signatures on gold and silver if it does, if this fair value does hold. So as of right now, it's definitely a little bit more of the waiting game for myself here. Don't want to lose any capital just from stupid trading. So sitting on the hands for me as of right now in this moment is going to be the best decision for sure. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, I think the gold long looks pretty good. If you play off that 4 hour low, there's no swing, and
Mhm.
I would expect at least some rebalance into the 4 hour high before any sort of, oh, it wants to correct. So that would be my thesis, but I have pretty low expectations right now for the session, to be honest, after that overnight move. Typically a 300 plus point Asia session is go back to bed morning for me, to be
Yeah,
honest.
this is true. See what happens. But yeah, gold for me as of right now is probably the closest watch I have to potentially looking for a setup off this 4 hour. But as of right now, nice. We're seeing NASDAQ trace into the previous 4 hour low here quite intensively as well. So we're seeing some decent movement. Once again, if I wanted to look long for NASDAQ here, I'm going to look for us to resweep out this 1 a.m. low on NQ before continuing back into these Asia highs. Right now, we're just having a slow grind down up into the 1 o'clock low. So as of right now, we are sitting clear of the markets.
Yeah.
What's up,
Chat,
Ben?
chat, how's everyone?
I am quite liking this 15-minute as well, though. We do currently have an SMT as well on the 15 SMT between NQ and ES within this higher time frame fair value. It's one thing to make note of here. Definitely looking like shorts are going to be the move here down into this 1 o'clock low. We're only, what, about 15 points off of that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how we react to this 1 o'clock because I actually do like the SMT there, the 15-minute SMT. That was relatively clean. So Jack, kind of what I was looking for here on this 15. One of the ways that I typically like to trade as well. So for those of you that have any questions on that, is if I'm trading continuations, either I like to look for a fair value to be respected, like an imbalance to be respected through a change in state of delivery confirmation, or I like to do SMT within gap fills. So locating a higher time frame gap fill, finding SMT divergence that forms within it, and confirming an SMT divergence. So SMT, you guys have to realize SMT divergence is technically just a hypothesis that one asset is being manipulated, one is not. And price confirms an SMT once you have it with some type of market structure shift. So for me, typically, if I want to confirm that an SMT is a true SMT, I look for it through a closure of a change in state of delivery. So in an example like here on NASDAQ on my right chart, what I would look to see, since we see that NASDAQ or ES, which is the left of my chart here, formed a high and then formed a lower high. NASDAQ, on the other hand, formed a high and formed a higher high, re-sweeping out the original or the previous 1 hour high here. So the 3 o'clock swept out the 2 o'clock high. If I want to confirm this SMT divergence, what is the move that led to that sweep out? It would be the low of this candle body move here. So this two bullish candle body move that led to the sweep out of the previous hourly high is the candle body low is considered our change in state of delivery. So if I want to confirm this is a true SMT, I watch for a candle body closure below this. And we see that in correlation with the 15-minute time frame, which aligns well with the 1 minute entry signature. We see that once we got this 308 closure, market is now confirmed the SMT within this gap fill, being this hourly and 4 hour fair value. and now we are continuing into this 1 a.m. low. So as of right now, that's what I'm watching. If we still want to see price continue lower as well on this 1 minute, we see that we've also formed this 1 minute imbalance, this 1 minute fair value here. If price were to respect this fair value, where do I want to see price close below? I want to see price close below the low of the 3:14 a.m. candle, being this 23,252.25 level. If this is the case and we get a bearish candle body closure below, that means we have respected this fair value and respected a continuation sequence lower into this 1 a.m. So just a little bit of context as to kind of the framework I like to look for trades. As of right now, as we mentioned with Kane, though, Asia was quite expansive. So for myself, I'm a little bit more hands off as of right now, but I do like the reaction to this 1 minute fair value here. So if we do get this closure, I might be interested in potentially looking for some shorts, but as of right now, not quite yet. So I'll actually leave my NASDAQ chart open as my primary for you guys so we can better see what I'm looking at here. We have the draw here, which is the 115 low that I would like to see NASDAQ pull into.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, really nice reaction here from this 1 minute imbalance.
What's the technical reason behind divergence? It's just a natural occurrence, right? Especially when you have correlated pairs in the market. Typically, they won't always trade the same because the market participants on one versus the other. You know, how often have you looked at an NQ chart and then just forgot about ES? Like that obviously happens you know, in the traditional sense that they'll start selling something at a key level because it's there, but then it's not a key level on ES, and they'll buy it through the high, and then they'll realize, and suddenly all the sellers pile into NQ, causing some correction across the board. Then suddenly that will have effect on ES and vice versa. So there's no like, oh, this is why they do it, or what. There's no conspiracy theory. It's just a market mechanic that's it's just meant to be that way, right? It's a free market. They could completely decorrelate if someone really wanted them to. They wouldn't because they have they have corresponding underlying assets that just means that they will always correlate in some capacity, If
Yeah.
all of the NQ stocks are down, typically that will have a direct impact on all of the NQ stocks industries, and the industries will correct with the larger stocks. So naturally they will all correct. So
Yeah.
that correlation will happen. But it just means that the indices can decorrelate, as could something like, NQ and sorry, Nvidia and I don't know, Palantir, although they're highly correlated right now. Um, Palantir could have bad news, Nvidia could have good news, and the market is kind of just stagnant. So
So really quick here, I'm actually quite interested in these 1 minute shorts. So I'm gonna put a limit at this SIST here, see if we get filled. But looking to target this SMT high because we also formed an SMT within that 1 minute imbalance. So I do have some limits at the change in state of delivery here. Looking to go short on NASDAQ here. I'm a really big fan of what I'm seeing in terms of price here. Targeting this 1.5R. We do have this 115 low, which we might have a bit of a reaction from, but we had two SMTs form, SMT within gap fill on the 1 minute. This looks quite promising for prices to continue lower, although not long term, since I'm only looking for a short term retracement. But yeah, full position was not filled here since I grabbed two micros in this position, but I was looking to go for full size at the change in state of delivery retrace here. So I still have my limit in here, but as of right now, I'm only in this with about two micros off the market order entry.
yeah, it happens. So you typically do that, right? You like build a position. You're like
Yeah.
micro sum, limit sum.
Yeah.
Um,
It
yeah.
does depend. Like if we have a very aggressive, like if we had a super strong closure below this change in state of delivery, most of the time I can anticipate that we're going to get at least a 50% retracement on the following 1 minute candle. Depends. The same goes for the 3 minute. Like here we actually might get filled. But most of the time what I'm looking for, let's actually see if we get full fill here. Nearly full fill. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna wait for we get filled. But yeah, most of the time, I'd say about 90% of my trades, I'm in with market order entry. But if we're very close to the change in state of delivery, there's a high chance that price is gonna retrace into that SIST. And so that's when I'll use a limit order entry just to get the kind of exact fill with that change in state of delivery entry. But it really, I'd say about 80-85% of my trades are taken just through market order. So as of right now, by the way, that's full position size here filled out on NASDAQ for these shorts here. Just wanted to test these out. Not super crazy size, but I do like the SMT in this gap fill. Bit of a strong retracement here off the beginning of this 115 sweep. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so ES took that 1 o'clock low.
Yeah, I see that.
I know you're on your laptop, but yeah, that's what happened. So, um, I respect the fact that you're able to do it like long, like short the hole. But I find it so hard, like
Mhm.
mentally. Um,
Let's see. That's why, yeah, wanted to test these out here. That's why I'm in micros on these as well and not minis, going lighter size here.
yeah, I mean, also the market is just fucked right now. I think
Yeah.
everyone should be trading much smaller size. I personally would like to see NQ still take this low, but I could also understand if they rally it. Considering the move, I
Yeah.
would favor longs. Um, if they pull it back now, back towards the low, and they start to take this low on NQ, I'll naturally look for longs. But I do really like your short. I think you have a nice invalidation, and also it's tight, but also I think the likelihood that they take the low in some capacities, there's a pretty good chance of that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It could just be the fake out and everyone buys the reoffer and they slam it through the reoffer. I've
Would
seen
be
them do
nice,
that
wouldn't
too
it?
many times.
Yeah, I think if we inverse this 1 minute fair value as well, most likely going to invalidate this SMT. Yeah. Yeah, sweeping out that low is the only issue here for this trade. So yeah, typically, also just for some more context in the form of my personal trading. So a lot of the times, I used to trade candle two signatures a lot more. So actual sweep moves, so like hourly manipulations or 4 hour manipulations. Now I've more veered towards continuation signatures and letting candle two signatures play out. So letting a manipulation occur, watching price distribute to the manipulated side. So if we have a bullish manipulation, watching for a bearish distribution. And once that bearish distribution occurs during candle two, then I use the imbalances during candle two's period to frame a continuation sequence during candle three. So, kind of as I mentioned with my fair value gap entries, how we watch for a fair value to be respected and then close below a change in state of delivery. It's the same framework that I do, except I just pull it one candle later for candle three. Since for me personally, that has also led to significantly higher probability in my setups just because I'm letting the manipulation occur, watching where market makers want to pull price, and then just grabbing the continuation, aka the distribution lower off of that.
Yeah.
Leo, how many screens do you use when you're looking at charts? Typically, I look at three screens, but I've or two for actual trading and then one just for work stuff. But as of right now, I'm traveling, so I'm on just a single screen at the moment. Looks like we're failing to inverse this fair value here on the 1 minute. Imagine this tiny little 1 minute fair value saves the trade.
Yeah, but they have that inverse off the low, right? Like they tried to
I know,
spike the low, failed on NQ. They gave that divergence.
I
I would
know.
like to see them fail it here. But I mean, if they respect this level right here,
Yeah,
it
no, then
doesn't look
it's
great.
definitely gonna be invalidation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see your point.
So I think you've got good invalidation for your thesis here. And if we start to respect out of here, then I think we naturally just switch
Hmm.
um to more of a long setup out of off this low.
Seems like
Purely
it's
for the
working
fact
quite
that,
well.
we came online, we both said that 1 o'clock low looks pretty good for longs. We
Yeah,
tag it on ES, we get a really good reaction off of it. I say really good, but, you know, relative, 4 points on ES, good reaction straight
yeah,
out of it. Looking to reclaim that hourly low, in the first 30 minutes. And naturally, I would just look to then trade to the other side of that hourly range, which
yeah,
is, a good like 12-point move on ES from here, um, which should just naturally we should see it like 100 200 ticks on NQ. um these are the types of trade that I used to get my base hits on Apex, to be honest.
yeah,
Like I would.
definitely. Yeah, it looks like that's holding quite well. That inverse is holding quite well here, so this is probably gonna lead to an invalidation. We'll see. Still in, not scaling anything out here. We'll see how we react.
I favor the low on NQ, so like
Yeah,
that, like I feel good for your trade.
yeah,
But I just, yeah, like I said, I naturally see why we could buy off this low.
definitely. Morning, chaps. Morning, Bob Ross, 541.
Oh. Do you close your trades if you see a huge move towards your stop loss, or do you let it play out? I personally let it play out because that's just part of the game, and I've also seen it come ever so close to my stop loss so many times and then play out. So I try not to get in front of in front of myself and just let it do its thing. What about you, Leo?
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I typically just keep it in the trade. It's part of the invalidation. Like if market decides to move aggressively towards the opposing direction, that's just general market moves. There's been many times I've been in trades, we see an aggressive reaction occur, market reaccumulates and then continues in my intended direction. So as long as I have my entry model that has my defined risk, I'm gonna keep my defined risk, especially if I'm in a position. I won't just cut a position early because of one significant move. Like in this trade, as Kane had also just mentioned, we see that ES took out the 115 low that we were watching to see on Nasdaq. And for me, that although that has led to a bit of a reaction where currently I am in drawdown on this trade, I'm still keeping my relevant stop. Like I'm not moving my stop, I'm not scaling out of my position, I'm just keeping my size because for me, as Kane and I mentioned, we do think that this low is very prominent for Nasdaq. I would like to see Nasdaq at least sweep out this 115 low. And so for me, I'm staying in this trade since I still see that as a feasible opportunity for Nasdaq.
Yeah.
Regardless of ES's reaction, I would like to see Nasdaq continue that. And if it leads to an invalidation, then I just consider that, that's just probability swiping me out of this trade and ES just an invalidation. So continue on to the next trade. Me Lord and Leo for London. Woohoo. Dude, you guys are funny. Yeah, a bit of a reaction here from NASDAQ. Most likely going to lead to an invalidation. This inversion was holding quite well. So I'll probably get taken out here.
Part of the game, buddy. It's part of the
Alrighty. Part of the game. All right, we're taking out here. All good though. Relatively lighter size on that, so we can take it like a champ.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
Like your size accordingly. I know you're good for it, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't stress. But yeah, I mean it's a tough spot because I think a lot of people are probably short into that low on NQ. They
Yeah.
rally it out, and then it goes from there. I personally didn't take it. I just like for me after a 300 point session, Asia session, like I naturally would be very risk off on a day like today. It's obviously
Mhm.
very news driven. Something happened. I haven't looked at what yet.
Yeah.
Um, but ultimately for me now, I would just look to target the other side of the um the 2 o'clock range
Mhm.
because we have that hourly low at three taking out two. We have a 4 hour low, and we have a 15-minute low. So I mean, if we can close up here in the next 2 minutes, for me, it's just the next 15-minute candle just takes us to the other side of the range.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Also did just confirm this 1 minute change in state on NASDAQ.
Yeah. Leo, you trading any prop right now?
Am I trading prop? Yeah, I'm trading Lucid and my funded. And I had my top steps, but I haven't traded them in a bit, in a couple
Yeah,
days. But yeah, Lucid and Top Step are my two main. Yes, sir.
makes sense.
Lo, did you learn trading from ICT or did you learn from someone else? I mean, quick little fun fact. I came from an options background before I transitioned to futures. So as of right now, I still options trade. I just options swing trade most of the time. And then I do intraday day trading futures. So for myself, I learned a lot of my general market analysis through options away from ICT. And then as I transitioned more to futures, I learned from like T trades, fractal model, so on and so forth. So kind of a mix between ICT and T trades. Dude, yesterday for the first time in ages, I took a day trade. I took SPX shorts off the open. 1DT SPX shorts off the open, and they went like 60% in about 15 minutes off the open.
So
It's
you were chilling.
I was chilling. Yeah, I was hanging.
Yeah, you were big
I was,
chilling.
I was hanging. Had me excited. I'm told AT is willing to end the U.S. military campaign against Iran, even if Strait of Hormuz remains largely closed. WSJ. All right, that would do it.
Oh, so that was the news last night. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, I think Trump has realized that having the Strait of Hormuz closed for a large period of time is a pretty bearish thing for the world economy, and I don't think he wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. S-
Price does look like it's going to continue higher now. That 1 minute SIST confirmation traced into it. Now we just opened up the new 15-minute 330.
Yeah, it's definitely like I know we hung around here before, just taking you out on this impulse move on 327, but
Mm.
naturally everything now is like now suggesting that it's switching to more of a bullish order flow, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you got this CSD. I know that you're a fan of them. I don't really like them too much, but um, it retraced and then now it's pushing back through the high. It's just naturally saying that people are wanting to buy this high, which is just a bullish sign. And then, all they really need to do now is just keep defending the previous area where people weren't willing to buy these down close candles and then just push through. So, yeah, naturally, I think uh, other side of this previous 1 hour and then go through the high. Yeah,
Hmm.
so if the count's going all right, actually, I'm down a little bit on it, but I actually can't log into it this morning. You'll notice that I'm not logged in on any account right now. My plan was to trade that, and I couldn't log into it this morning, so I need to reach out to the team and see what's going on with it. Um, just doesn't give me the live option. So,
Weird.
but yeah, I think I'm gonna probably have like a Lab Live account. Um, I don't know how much money I'm gonna deposit in it yet, but I'm probably gonna have a dedicated live account just to trade when I'm on stream.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What's up, Dan? Good seeing you, Dan.
What do you think about the war happening right now? I think it's like naturally same sort of thing they're always doing, right? They do something for disagreement reasons. That's naturally why they have a war. But now they're coming to this point where it's just like it's dragging out, and I think in today's day and age, war is not what it once was, and it's now, it's cyber and it's a lot of other things. So I think it just naturally comes to an end sooner rather than later. Um, but yeah, not 100% sure right now. I just want to see it end and us get back to normal, you know?
Agree. Yeah, so longs, yeah, I mean, after the invalidation of my shorts here, though, one nice thing I really like about these longs as well is not only did we confirm a closure above a bullish change in state of delivery, but we also saw that bullish SIST that confirmed this large SMT at these lows. So we just confirmed the 1 a.m. SMT. Since ES swept out the 115 low, Nasdaq did not. We also just confirmed this nice SMT alongside it. So just a heads up.
Dan, actually, I think they achieved quite a lot. I think the people are just looking at it from a different perspective. Like, you gotta understand something that China buys most of their oil from two places, Venezuela and Iran. And Trump, in the space of 4 months, was able to stop practically all oil flow to China for a considerable amount of time. So I think the reality is we don't really know what he was planning with it. Obviously, there's a narrative that they spin, but they naturally will always, tell a fake story when actually there's a real story going on. I think that's just, and I think Trump has proved that time and time again.
Classic.
But I mean, yeah, on the surface of things, we've never, um, they haven't achieved a lot, but I don't know. I would never look for shorts here. We came out of this monthly gap with a daily sweep, but also tapped into H4 gap with SMT. Yeah, but Leo was short going into that, so it's like, uh, it's kind of irrelevant what you say. All of that stuff happened after Leo was short.
Yeah.
So
Here right now, also confirm the Sisti opened up the new 15 minute, which is also the new 30 minute at 3:30. Now we've now respected this 1 minute fair value. We get this closure in 10 seconds. Typically, this would be a 1 minute. It's a smaller time frame, but this would be considered a candle three continuation here.
yeah.
Tempted to also put some lighter size on that just for this grind higher, but I'm gonna fade this one just because we're close to the 3 o'clock high. I want to see a react. But I'll at least map it out so you guys can generally see what it would look like. It'd be market order entry. Stop would be at the low that respected it. And then I would target a 1.5R here. So I'm not in this trade. I'm just mapping this out so you guys can better see kind of how I would approach it. Either this or I would do a limit order at the Sisti. But if we had taken a market order, this is what it would look like. Layer, you're not in the US right now. No, I'm in London.
What time frame are you on right now? The 3 minute?
I'm on the one minute right now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you mark out all those down close candles and see how well they've been respected on that way up, I mean, it's very clear that buying any down close candle right now until, a target has been hit has
Yeah,
obviously been paying pretty well. Um,
definitely.
so naturally, I would also be the same as you, like just trying to buy this high.
Mhm.
In my head, at least, I'm not naturally gonna just start to buy high. But I think for me, the main target here is this midnight open price. Around 320s, which is also just coinciding with that previous 1 hour high. I think that's a really good target. If we get a good push through there, then naturally I would look to see stronger movements through, but we'll see.
Where are you based? I'm based in California, but about to move to Florida when I'm back, so I'll be East Coast. How long are you in London for? Just until the 2nd of April. Um, reason for London originally landed here in London because I have a twin sister that studies in the Netherlands, so I went to the Netherlands to visit her, and then also my missus lives in London, so I'm visiting her post grad visit. How do you choose 1.5 to 2R Leo? That's actually a great question. It really does, for me, typically when I watch for continuation signatures, if I have a very relevant draw, that let's say so in this long position right now, right? I'm not in this actively, but let's say that we had a draw that was within around the 1.5 to 2R. Typically, in an example like this, what I would shoot for is I would shoot for around 2R if I have a very relevant draw that I can see price reaching. Just for consistency's sake, I like to keep a 1.5R. And if a 1.5R tags and we still have a relevant draw, I'll keep runners until 2R. But just for the most part, when it comes to continuation sequences, 1.5R just keeps a reliable profit measure for myself where I can see and consistently hit base hits over and over and over again. So 1.5R, it's just kind of what I've found works best for me. I've seen some invalidations occur with 2R. 1.5, like, well, if a true continuation hits, it consistently hits well for me, and there's never really an issue of price being too drawn out when I'm shooting for a 1.5. But once again, there's quite a few factors that go into it. You've got, how far is your drawn liquidity? How expansive of a session have we had? Have we had a very expansive bullish or bearish session? All these things are characteristics for, um, what your RR ratio should be. Like if I have a 60 or 70 point stop and market's already had a 300 point move, am I really expecting to go 2R and expect market to expand another 140, 150 points? Most of the time, no. So then I would bring my RR lower, or I just wouldn't enter the trade at all. Yeah, if that makes sense. I also love 1.5R. Hell yeah. Also, so this continuation now is actually playing out this 1 minute here. Only reason I didn't was just I wanted to see a reaction to the 3 o'clock high, but market just completely slammed through that. We also did just remove the SMT at the highs. We did have relevant SMT at the highs. We've now removed it. Looks like Nasdaq's going to play this out to 1.5R. So obviously, as I mentioned to you guys, no entry was taken by myself, but as Kane and I were scouting at the beginning of this stream here, we wanted to see Nasdaq and ES sweep out the 115 low and continue higher. And as of right now, that's actually exactly what we're seeing occur. But unfortunate here. Looks like we are going to see Nasdaq just continue higher. So I'll wait for the next 15-minute open. So the 345 to see whether or not we can grab a secondary continuation off of an imbalance. But so far, great movement here. Just slowly grinding higher. Kind of hard to place yourself in these markets, especially after Asia session. But hey, we're now chunking higher. Great use of the word the misses. Leon, what situations do you find better option continuation on the 1 minute rather than the 3 minute? It really depends. If I'm taking 1 minute continuations, a lot of the times the strongest 1 minute continuations come from a 15-minute SMT divergence. So if I'm taking a 1 minute trade, at least the highest probability setups for me come from scouting, watching for an imbalance, so watching for a fair value to form, watching price retrace into a fair value, form an SMT within a gap, and then dropping down to the 1 minute, watching for a change in state of delivery confirmation that confirms the 15-minute SMT. And most of the time, that's like my highest probability 1 minute entry. Other moments like here, when I'm looking at this candle two, right, we see that this candle two confirmed on the 1 minute, but if we look at the 3 minute, it just confirmed the 3 minute confirmation, right? So if like how Kane and I were wanting to scout longs at these lows, if I wanted to get an earlier entry, quote unquote, I would watch for the 1 minute since it confirms the 1 minute a lot sooner, if that makes sense. Arturo. Also, I mean, yeah, price is now completely pulling higher here. About 40-point move off of that continuation here on NASDAQ. Quite the move.
Sorry, boys and girls. My Zoom died. It was just my computer grinded to a halt. Everything closed down. Um, don't know what happened. Give us a second, because that just meant the production just had to like remove me and re-add me, so they're just getting everything back. So, um, yeah, no, I didn't take that trade. I mean, we got a good reaction. And naturally, it traded through. It kind of traded through that high that we were anticipating. Um, the 15-minute was a nice setup, obviously, that led to the hourly and now the 4 hour. I mean, if we start to chew through like 350s, um, you get that basically the first hour and a bit of this 4 hour candle is just trading higher. So the first hour traded lower. We then trade, at 3 took out a 2 o'clock low, which took out that 1 a.m. low on ES, gave you that divergence, and then we're getting that push through. Um, so yeah, naturally, I think a really good trade and a really good spot. Um, if you're still in it, I think Asia High looks pretty good from here, considering the 4 hour. But you should definitely pay yourself after 80-point move through this range right now. So yeah, just one of those days. But I personally, irrespective of whatever, after a 300-point Asia move, I typically look to just ignore it.
Definitely. Like for our rebounds, get a nice R trade at ES 50-minute C3 1 minute IC. Yep, definitely. I mean, that's what we're seeing now. We're just seeing continuations higher here. This continuation was really nice on this one. Only reason I faded was just because I wanted to see a reaction to 3 o'clock. But honestly, this continuation sequence was higher probability in those shorts I went for. So missed opportunity, but market's not, I'm not missing all my opportunities in market. I'll eventually get another trade. So I'm not stressing over missing a setup here. All right, that's the new 15-minute open here. So looking for retracements into some imbalances would be nice if we want to grab continuations. Absolutely made sense, Leo. We miss your live streams on your. That's awesome. Happy to hear it, Arturo. But we're here. We'll be live with the Lab Live quite often. So tune on in because we'll be here. Leo, when do you refine your strategy? Does it have to pass a simple size criteria? Refining in what sense though? Like the risk side of my strategy, entry signatures, like where do you like what do you qualify as refining my strategy? Because there's multiple different ways you can refine it. Um, my 2.5 aligns with the Asia high too much for me. Also true. Yeah, I really like this signature though. See, this for me on this one, although Nas didn't sweep out the 115 low, this is the type of framework I really like to see with markets. And the reason being was because we saw the C2 confirm, the C2 distributed to the bullish side since we saw bearish manipulation followed by a bullish distribution. Bullish distribution, C2 closes. C3 opens, continues, forms an imbalance, traces into it, and all we did was all that could have been done. Obviously, no entry was given here, was just grab that continuation sequence higher. So really nice movement here. We're also doing that again. We're a very, very micro fair value here forming. So we'll probably validate an even higher move here on NASDAQ. For trade. Is SMT divergence imperative part of all your setups? Great question as well. SMT is not mandatory, but it's definitely one I will like to look for quite often. Like SMT is not a mandatory criteria, especially if I'm taking continuations, but if I can scout and if an SMT is present, most of the time that does lead to higher probability for myself. But great questions. I'm liking all these questions. So if this continues, this would be a C4 continuation sequence. These are not trades I'm in. I'm just showcasing you guys here kind of what the framework looks like for these trades. This would be a very shallow stop, so it'd be a quick 1.5R here. Might have almost even played out already. If you guys wanted a if you guys wanted a 7.1.5R, that technically C4 continuation here, chat.
I would never take this ever.
Look at how micro that is. That's adorable. Guys, if you really wanted a 7 point scalp, you could take this. Sisty entry here. But no, I would fade that 100%. Yeah, looks like we're just gonna get a grind higher now though. If we look at this 15-minute profile here on my higher time frame chart as well, this looks great. C1 formed, C2 formed the sweep. C2 sweep, we manipulated the low of the previous 15-minute. Once we manipulated the low of the 15-minute, we closed bullish, so we closed with opposing movement, bearish manipulation followed by bullish distribution. Now what did C3 do? C3 expanded off of the C2 maneuver. So this is really, really solid.
Yeah, it's setting up for quite a bullish day actually.
Yeah. Thanks though. Also, if many FPGs are present, how do you still believe your trade if a new fair value gap forms whilst in the trade position? I really struggle with this. Honestly, I mean, look, right. Price is typically going to want to retrace eventually into major gaps or major imbalances. It's why a lot of people use new weekly opening gaps or new daily opening gaps. Like once market reopens on the afternoon, like a lot of the times larger gaps are going to be a lot higher probability. If you have very, very shallow fair values, a lot of the times those aren't going to hold as well, or they're at least going to get swept out fully. So for myself, when I'm looking for continuations, I like to see them occur with slightly larger gaps. Example being this kind of 335 trade here. We did form a more relevant fair value. You could see price clearly formed this gap. So in terms of that, that's kind of what I look for. I don't like to, if price has already expanded a ton. So as we mentioned, like Asia session had a 300-point move. If then London tried to continue off of Asia's move, a lot of the times I'm going to be less keen on wanting to take it since we've already had such an expansive session that eventually, instead, I'd rather watch for a deeper retracement into some major imbalance that forms during Asia session rather than London session, because that's going to be a more relevant gap for me. And so, like, as of right now, we see that we've formed the C2 closure with this change in state of delivery. So we can also look for 3-minute gaps since there are some relevant 3-minute gaps we could see market make our way into. But yeah, this 4 SMT was nice for this long.
Yeah, I'd like to buy like a 50% pullback on it maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, dude. Also, you can really rap XD.
I
Wait,
think
I'm
it's because you're
so.
talking fast.
Oh, because I was talking fast?
Yeah, I think it's what you're saying.
Shoot. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Don't worry. Why are you apologizing for that?
I'll do. Thought he was talking about the few times in the lab streams that I'd rap like Eminem. I was like, whoa. I just-
Maybe also
I mean, that was like one time. I was like, I don't think so, but that'd be funny.
that.
Oh yeah, great level of articulation. Got it. See here, kind of to my fair value point here. This was such a small imbalance that formed, and so if we had done the original continuation sequence, we would have gone stopped out of our trade because it's very feasible that price is going to fill these smaller gaps. Less feasible that it'll fully fill much larger gaps. So just a small rule of thumb when looking for fair values. And typically for me, the more expansive a session, the less probable a fair value, the less, sorry, lower probability fair values will form the more expansive a session is for me. Like if we've already had a very big move, most of the time I won't be looking to trade the most relevant fair values and instead watch for deeper retracements. Now we're just kind of letting price. We might accumulate a little bit at these highs right now, or at least trace into the previous 15-minute EQ here, what's marked in this dotted line, this C3 EQ. We'll see what happens. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, by the way, feel free to like this stream. Subscribe if you haven't. I know you definitely, there's a few of you in here that are in the stream and haven't liked or subscribed yet, but it helps out the Lab Live a lot. We're going to get this channel big. Trust. See if we can get this stream
Trust.
at least 100 likes right now. You got 131 of us and 44 likes. I know we can bring it up 1000%. I know it's not New York session and we just have a few London stragglers right now, but I know you guys are still active because you're damn well on your trading view charts right now trading, that's for sure.
Oh, sorry, I missed these questions. Um, does anyone trade your model like you or you do or better? Uh, I mean, Menk trades it probably slightly differently now. I mean, he has a lot of success with it. Dizon trades it slightly differently now. He has a lot of success with it. I think all the people that have really good success with the model, they all have like adapted it in their own way to suit them, taking less trades or even more trades in some instances, holding trades for longer, holding trades for a shorter amount of time. Um, so yeah, I mean, naturally, I prefer it that way. Um, people that make their own adaptations because they have a better understanding of it and the reasons for it. Um, so yeah, what is my model? I'm just trading 4 hour PO3s basically. I'm rebuying, I'm reselling highs and lows.
Yo, Rixie, what's up? Good seeing some names I haven't seen in a while here. This is awesome. Howdy, Rixie. Hope you're doing well. There we go. See, we did a little like check. Now we're at 69 likes. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Somebody. Yeah, so once again, Chad, as of right now, I'm hands off on the charts. Looks like we're having a bit more of a slowed bullish movement here, accumulating up at these at around this 2350 range right now. 23,350 range. My apologies. Because ideally, if we look at this profiling as well, I'd want to see us trace in. We have this large 15-minute fair value that's formed, so trace into this a bit before we see markets continue even higher. Because here we see we formed a very, very large 15-minute imbalance. And so when we consider price as well, or at least we're currently forming a 15-minute fair value as we speak. But we do only have 4 minutes left on this 15-minute fair value. And so I'm expecting price to close and trace into it before we can see market expand higher. But as of right now, the draw I'm watching for primarily, which I hope we can see on this stream, is Asia highs. So ideally, what I'd like to see is this 15-minute closes. We form this large
Ooh.
15-minute imbalance. Once we see this large 15-minute imbalance, I want price to continue higher by tracing into it. So same framework I've been giving you guys all stream long here, but when we want to see continuations form, typically form the imbalance, trace into the imbalance, respect it with the change in state of delivery, and then definitely we have this clear Asia high here that we could see as our draw on liquidity for today. So this is kind of what I'm watching to see as well as far as right now. But ideally, this would be the framework I'd be looking for. And as we trace into this fair value, there's two criteria I'll be looking for. One would be an SMT within this gap fill that we confirm on the 1 minute with a 1 minute entry. Since we are using a 15-minute fair value gap, I would utilize a 1 minute entry signature. And if no SMT is present, I at least want to see an imbalance form as well on the 1 minute that we can respect to then grab a continuation sequence. But as of right now, I'm really liking the move on this 15. We form this fair value. I would really like to see this following 15 just retrace in so we can get a very clear continuation. Because if we don't retrace into this 15-minute and just expand immediately into this Asia high, there's no way that I personally feel comfortable inputting myself into market. So then I would just be hands off for this trading. But as of right now, I'm sure we're probably forming some SMT here. No SMT yet, but starting to get a little expansive. Chat. Yeah, the 7 hour chart as well, correct? Yep. For such a big fair value gap, do you target the 50% retracement? Yeah, most of the time I target the encroachment, the 50% level of a fair value. In large imbalances, you can typically see the encroachment get traced into and respected. Absolutely.
The lag always feels scary. Um, it's just another market mechanic, right?
Yeah,
Enki's looking strong now in comparison to US, I guess relative to this short time frame. Um, Squeezing higher. That's what we like to see. Asia high not protected. I doubt it, honestly. I mean, overall, everything kind of was pretty well balanced in the move down, especially on on NQ, sorry. Um, it rebalanced quite a lot of the moves. I would like to see a higher time frame retrace at some point, but I think the reality is that after a 300 point upside move, you can only look for long, so you can't really fade that. Especially during London, took out that 4 hour low, that hourly low, that 15-minute low, and then yeah, I prefer ES movements. But yeah, I mean it's just ultimately there's definitely room for upside on ES from here, and NQ is leading the charge. So I like that when NQ leads the charge and ES gains the same strength. We really get a nice move on NQ, typically pretty fast, pretty violent towards that Asia high. I would not, like I said, I didn't take this trade off the low. We framed it, but yeah, naturally I would also just wanted to wait to get a better entry, like a
mhm,
lower entry below this 4 hour low, but it's there. Um, and yeah, we're trading, way up to this Asia high, towards this Asia high right now. And this is a 100 point move during London. I mean, this is a monster move for
yeah,
just someone like me. So, I would have been way out. I would have took all of my money off the table. That like the 320s level, that midnight level that we kind of anticipated, but we pushed straight through that. And now we're just pushing through the highs. There's no real pullback, which is really good for bulls right now.
definitely. Also, as of right now, we're forming a light SMT at these highs with YM and ES and YM actually right now. So just a quick note here, but we're seeing us retrace into this 1 minute fair value on NASDAQ after having this expansive 356 to 359. So just watching to see how market reacts here. Chad, I have a genuine question for every single one of you in regards to prop firms. For those of you that obviously are trading prop, what do you guys think is the best prop firm in the scene right now? I'm very curious to know because I think there's a lot of personal input involved with it and personal experience. What do you guys think is the best prop firm currently present within the trading community right now?
It's a good question, actually.
Lucid. All right. There we go. Lucid. Apex and Lucid. My Funded Future Rapids. All right. This SMT here, quite aggressive. Form this SMT. NASDAQ swept out the high. 4 o'clock is looking like we're going to get quite a deep retracement here.
I would like that though.
That
I
would
think
be really
it's a
nice.
retrace for a buy. I don't think
Yeah,
it's a short retrace. Yeah.
exactly. I agree entirely with you here. I'm seeing a lot of Lucids.
Yeah.
Love to see it. There we go. Now, what accounts you guys are trading for Lucid? Are you guys trading the Flex? Which ones are you guys looking at? Is the 50K Pros, the Flexes, straight to Fundeds? What are you guys on? Funded Next. Okay, I haven't heard of Funded Next in a minute. Flex, very nice.
150K flexes. They're going up in price, aren't they? I think they got announced.
Yeah. Don't yeah, I forgot. I think there's a bunch of announcements coming in with a lot of prop firms soon.
Yeah, Tradeify changes today. There's a lot of Tradeify
Oh,
changes
right.
coming out.
Tradify,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah, good
They go up
point.
in price tomorrow. Yeah, there you
The Tradify accounts or
go. No, sorry. The Tradeify accounts are going up to they're moving to away. Oh wait, actually, I can't. I can't. I shouldn't have said any of that. It hasn't been announced.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyways, guys, so that being said, in regards to prop firms, code lab at any of your favorite prop firms. Just a heads up. Chat now random question because I don't know if you guys know, but Propfirm.compare has been giving out some fucking crazy accounts. Like what'd you guys do yesterday? Was it nuts?
No, we did like we did 100 we did 100 My Fun of Futures accounts, but that was
Holy
more Matt. He was just giving out loads, right? And
yeah.
then we did like 98. We like did
God.
a giveaway of 98 accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do more of them. I said this yesterday on on the New York stream is that I don't want to inflate numbers of streams because of giveaways.
Totally. I
So for the first week or so, there were going to be next to no giveaways, and then after that, we'll start to incorporate
Yeah.
them more into the streams.
Think that's
But
smart.
yeah, but naturally, there are a lot. So to summarize, right? Apex 90% off for those that know. Apex obviously raised their prices a little bit. I think their end of their accounts were massively undervalued, like underpriced. So they've obviously had to increase the price on those. The 90% discount obviously still makes them cheap. So um, if you if you are going to buy an Apex account, I think now is the time. The 90% offers don't last long, and they're definitely more spaced out than they used to be. There was a time that Apex always around 90%. They don't do that anymore. And the jump from 80 to 90 is actually quite a large discount at that point. Um, so that's that. Lucid are doing some more changes. So they announced Lucid Max. They announced the pricing of how you get into Lucid Max and how how you go back to sim. If you keep going back to sim, they're more money. If you don't go back to sim a lot and you do it infrequently and you make more money in your live, they become cheaper. Um, so I think that's really good. And then Tradeify announcement is dropping at 9 a.m. today. Which I think if you draw lines to where the what the industry has done over the past couple of months, you'll be able to figure out what what that announcement looks like. But ultimately, it's better for everyone. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This five yeah. 5 minute SMTs can get removed. Lucid Black back again, please. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm going to be really honest here. I actually helped those guys cook up the Lucid Black plan. It was kind of a conversation that I was having with AJ and a couple of others. I actually think that plan Well, actually, I don't think. I know that plan had a higher expected value than the other plans. It was more money and it was less attractive. But if you're smarter about it, you could have made more money with that plan.
Yeah.
So the fact that it didn't do well, they were happy about because it didn't cost them as much money. But the people that did trade Lucid Black accounts had higher payouts across the long term than the others. And I think the people that realized that missed that account. So yeah, sad times
Sad times.
for real though. It's very sad
I
times.
know. I even like the Lucid. I was trading the Lucid Blacks as well. Yeah, I've been trading quite a bit of personal though. Been having fun with that.
Yeah, expensive accounts. No, Jamie. No, that they won't. That would just never go down well. It would just never float.
True. Looks like Asia highs are inbound, guys. The original draw that we wanted from the start of the stream will be met here very shortly.
Morning, Sniper. Kane, if you're a beginner and you start to see consistency, how do you plan to scale with prop firms? Um, Personally, it just comes back down to the if you're consistent, you just need to allocate money from your payouts back into growing your accounts.
Yeah.
The downside of that is at some point you are going to blow a bunch, so you can't get too over leveraged because you need some money in the money in the tank to re-up them with. So yeah, that would be my personal opinion. Like for me, I'm a 33% guy. Take 33% of my payouts to the tax man, 33% of payouts to roll it back in, and 33% of it for me. So if you do that generally across the board, you'll be pretty good. But like I said, leave some money of the 33%. Don't allocate it all every single month because there'll come a point in time where, especially as a beginner, you will have no money to allocate, and you have to start taking money out of your personal funds, which obviously you don't want to do.
Hmm.
So naturally, look to scale slowly, not fast. So yeah. Which prop firms do you guys use? I'm actually currently not trading like sim in any firm right now. Um, Maybe we'll do like a small live account and a bunch of props. I don't know. Sorry, my throat's absolutely killing. Um, so yeah, I need to get back into sim. The reality is I kind of done most of them, and then kind of called off when I traded live, called off a bit, and now I just trade live right now. Which props and account sizes? Naturally, it depends. Like there are different account sizes have different EV for me. Naturally, more drawdown the better. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, I need, 1.5 drawdown to profit target ratio. Like I'll take accounts that are like 9K, 9K profit target for 4.5K drawdown, like the 150Ks, like for example the TPT accounts, the My Fund of Future Pro accounts. So I'll do those, right? But long term, and again, if an account has a payout cap, I'll more often than not aim for the accounts that have a higher payout cap because again, that's just who I am. So yeah, they're more expensive. I understand that I have a pretty nice situation when it comes to that. I don't have to worry about money in terms of how much I spend on them. Like my Propfirm spend is low in terms of my monthly income. Even if it got out of hand, it would still be low. So I understand I'm in a niche position, and my advice is obviously, or sorry, my advice and what I do are completely different things. I think a lot of people, the 50Ks are the best. So yeah, that for me is how I'd run with it.
Really liking this potential 1 minute here on Nasdaq. We're approaching Asia highs. It's a very relevant draw here as well. Depends if we fail to close this change in state, though. I'm not looking to. I'll probably fade this most likely, but just definitely Asia highs are inbound here soon.
Are there any props that do not have the buffer for payout and do not trigger your mass loss limit to plus 100 after payout? Um, no, I don't think there is that have both of those. But what there is, I think my point of futures, they require a buffer, but they don't trail, right? Or they trail your payout, they trail it to only after payout, so it doesn't trail after you get there. Um, but typically it's either you don't need a buffer, but the ones that don't need buffer typically trail after payout, and the ones that do need buffer don't trail after payout. So yeah, I mean you can't get best of both because that's just that's where the edge is. It's like, you know, it's like me asking, hey, does anyone know any blackjack tables that stand on 19 only and hit on 18? The edge is hitting on 16, right? Not 17. Did you cycle multiple funded accounts in groups? Not really. I'm the type of person that just trades my accounts all in one go. So yeah, I've not been one of these people that just like will trade like I don't know like one TPT account and then blow three and pot like run up two, because it's not necessarily trading then, it's just martingaling in via like four or five accounts, and you can make money that way, but at the same time that would be pretty scummy of me to be like, look at me trading, because it's already trading at that point. It's just I'm playing a game. And
Yeah.
the thing is like I do play games with props in some capacity. Like I'm trying to extract money, not necessarily trade like consistently. So it's harder for me, which is why I always prefer um trading a live account, because I could do what I want with it. I don't have the rules. I can put 25k in a live account. If I, you know, lose 15 of it, I'm not getting margin called or something. I have a lot more room to grow. And there's nothing stopping me depositing 25 tomorrow and going into drawdown on it. Like I don't have this expectation to win this straight out of the gate. It's just over time. Are people better nowadays? PT says. I think there's a mixture of there are a lot more better. There are a lot better. Sorry, a lot more better. A lot better traders in the retail space that are obviously consuming these products, but also at the same time, people have figured out that there are ways to game the system, because you
Right.
can game it. Not that I would advise that, because you will get caught, but you can do it, and that's why you have the likes of Lucid bringing out their max plans. Like you want a game prop, you can game it, but this is the avenue you're able to do that for, and that's the Lucid max plan. And that people that game prop actually make it more expensive for the people that don't game it. How do you game it? I mean, I'm obviously not going to tell you that because that's just silly. I'm going to get every prop firm up my ass about that if I do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just also to touch on your question, Trader. Are people nowadays so much better? I think it's actually not the case because although there's a lot more accessibility to education and trading education generally, like you could learn a full trading model completely for free online if you put in the work for it. The reality is the prop firms are primarily just making money off of the psychology. Like a lot of you in chat, and I'm sure most of you in chat right now understand the technical side of trading to the most part. I'm not going to say, 100% because I think to an extent people like Kane and traders like Kane have been around the scene for a while. You literally build an intuition as a trader to build reliability in markets. Like if I were to ask, Kane or some of the best traders in the scene, why exactly did you enter this trade? They could give you 100% of the technical reason why they entered, but they at the end of the day, who's pulling the trigger? It's your intuition as a trader, right? And so even though people, quote unquote, I wouldn't even say it's getting better in that sense today. There's more accessibility to education and trading education than there was years ago. But the reality is, it's like it, the psychology side is what's still making so many people. I mean, if you look at the statistics as to who becomes a profitable trader versus who doesn't become a profitable trader, 99% of that is purely just because of the psychology side of trading. So, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people that trade some really weird ways, but their psychology, the way they trade, they've done the work and they figure it out. And you guys can just sit here and say BS or holy glaze. You two are fucking haters, you know that. You were here yesterday doing the same thing. What a fucking terrible life, by the way. Jesus fucking Christ.
How long have you been trading? I don't know whose question that is for, but I've been trading since 2019.
Um, yeah, I've like actively trading a lot. Um, like sorry, trading a lot. Trading for a living. Probably like 5 years. All in, closer to 11 now. Baby Kane is mad again. I feel bad for you, bro. I just feel really bad. Like
Just funny having to come on here on a free stream and be like that. It's whatever.
you feel the Yoshi gift coming. Nah. I mean, if I ban them, what would they do with their life? You have to allow people purpose in life. And if that's their thing, that's their thing.
Czar, trading, there's nothing against prop, of course. Trading personal is always going to be better, but I think the nice thing about prop is it does teach you proper risk management, right? I've taught quite a few people trading, and at the end of the day, a lot of them really struggle and have lost a lot of money on personal with that exact vision, right? It's this idea that you can make a lot more with a personal account, which is true, but I've legit met people that can't even hold a 50K account alive, a 50K eval, I mean to say, or a funded account, can't even hold it alive within one payout. They get one payout and they blow it, or they can't even get a single payout. And then I've gotten messages of people that have literally texted me a week before saying, I've blown 10, 15 accounts. And then a week later go, hey, I just started a personal account. I'm like, wait a minute. That's a bit of a discrepancy. Why are you starting a personal account if you can't even hold a 2K drawdown 50K account? And then guess what I get? A week later, I get the I just lost all my personal funds. Give me an account, please. And you're like, dude, oh my God. Like, so yeah, nothing against prop, but I think definitely if you're getting into the scene, I mean, if it's a 50 to $150 investment, where you're in an active market scenario and you get to learn how to properly manage your risk and also backtest your technical analysis side of things. Like that is definitely going to be a lot more valuable than throwing 10K, 15K into a personal account and trading because you'll probably, and if you think you have good psychology, you'll still trade it and maybe you'll trade it better than a prop firm because you'll realize that it's your real money, but it's not hard to tilt even on a personal account. So,
One thing I actually will very quickly say, right, I've seen a lot of people fall into the opposite side of that trap, and I just want to be very clear that depositing 10K to your personal brokerage versus spending 10K on prop is not the same thing, right?
yeah.
Because it's really easy to buy 50, 200K accounts and suddenly you're at, yeah, 10K, you
Yeah.
know? So the reality is it doesn't feel as bad coming out in $200 increments. So you do have to keep track of it and make sure that you're not falling into this gambling fallacy of people online telling you that trading prop is easy. Like, is trading prop and extracting money from prop easier than being a profitable day trader in your live account? Yes, it is. There's no argument about that. It's there. There's a like I said to you, there are avenues to being able to extract money from prop firms that don't mean necessarily you are a profitable trader. And like
Mhm.
I said, I'll use the example so I don't get in trouble. I'll use the exact same example. You can buy 5 TPT accounts take your time passing them, you get them, and you YOLO one account into the abyss, and then the next one, and the next one, and then you're down three accounts, and you make 20 grand on two accounts. Okay, to spend 20 grand on TPT accounts, okay, let's factor in the 80% or whatever. You walk away with 16K. You can do that. There's value there. The reality is you will get you they'll find you pretty quickly. Um, and you'll get moved to live, and you won't have the as much EV there as you typically expect. That there are things like that on most prop firms that you can do. That doesn't mean you are a profitable trader. I'm sorry, it
No.
just doesn't. That's just not how that works. You can't do that in a live account because the the odds, the 2, 3, 5, 6 odds on your money don't exist there. So it's much harder to have a live account that you can run up into and consistently pull money out of versus trading prop. That is an advantage for 100% of people.
Yeah.
The reality is that a lot of people fall into, well, I haven't spent 10, I didn't deposit 10 grand to my live account and trade it consistently. I spent 20K on prop and I've withdrew 5K. That feels better. It's not
Hmm.
better, you know?
It's a great
So,
point.
and I've seen the stats, like, like I said to you guys, I'm boys with the Lucid guys. Like, we're tight. I have a lot of open conversations with the problems that they have and the things that they see. Like a lot of people can make it to payout one, but can't make it to payout two. Right? Like it's actually an alarming amount of people make it to payout one and not payout two.
Yeah.
99% of people that go to live blow up. So like the stats there are just crazy. It's nuts. Like, and there are definitely prop traders out there that are not consistently profitable but make consistent good money. So there's just, it's whatever. Funding X pull out the number. To be fair, I applaud Funding X for showing exactly all the full breakdown in that report they did. So yeah. Um yeah, Tarova. I had 30 Apex accounts. I had 30 evaluations and 30 PAs. Um I don't know the exact number because I can't remember the sale, but it's sub 5K. It might be 4K because the 10 accounts were more expensive than the 20 because the 20 account sale was crazy. I got like 20 20 accounts and the activation fee was like $40 all around CPI for
Same.
that year. So like it was crazy. It was like they've never run that sale again. It's John at Apex and the team will just be like, yeah, that was the worst sale we ever ran.
That's awesome though. Holy shit. Also just for some note here in terms of some TA, 15-minute sweep. We saw the 4 o'clock sweep out the 345 high. We've now just traced into on NASDAQ into this gap here. Price is retracing quite aggressively now, or we've got some good bearish intent here. No SMT active within this fair value, but I really do like the potential for a 3-minute retracement continuation, or at least a continuation series here. Fair value retracement, closure confirmation in the next few seconds here. We just actually confirmed this 3-minute closure below this change in state of delivery. So it's looking pretty good here for some potential deeper retracements that Kane and I were talking about.
You want to buy like 300s, 305s, 310s maybe. To be honest, I mean it's getting pretty late in the session for me now. I mean, London session for me is like 3 till 4.
Yeah.
And look what happens. Three comes online, 310, 320, we rally out, and at
Hmm.
405 we just start to deplete. That 1 hour window for me is the window that I typically try and trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan, the number's crazy, bro. Like the amount of people actually pulling out crazy numbers from prop are like highly profitable numbers. Is minimal actually, because there are a lot of people that are pulling out 80K and spending 70. It's like you're better off making 20 grand on one account and you're better than them, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, the numbers are crazy. 0.4 Is diabolical. Insane. Also, just another reminder, guys, if you guys haven't already, to like the stream and subscribe. I know we've got a couple new faces in here. I'm seeing some names I haven't seen. I know it's my first segment on the Lab Live streams here, but just a quick reminder, as we're sort of in this London session, if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a lot. We're going to be providing literally daily streams to you guys. So if you guys do like the idea of daily streams, and want to get notified with it, I'd hit the subscribe button and like if you haven't already. Already. Got my light fill here on these NASDAQ 3 minute shorts. Super, super light. I just want to give these a little go here.
Yeah, Nevin, honestly, like again, I was in a fortunate enough position. Okay, yeah, I wasn't in the same fortunate enough position that I was before losing the money, but I was in a fortunate enough position that I had a really good high paying job. Like, and I've always said that like not many of my friends knew I traded because I had good money, but like I was working in London, I was working in a high paid sales environment, you know, that meant that I could consistently live a good life, irrespective. Okay, it set me back a lot mentally. Um, but at the same time, like I said, it was just either I dust myself off and get back into it, or I go and work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. And I know that a lot of people have the aspirations to quit their 9 to 5 and do what they want when they want. And I did as well. That was at the time, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to have the freedom to go where I wanted when I wanted and have the money to do that. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nice 3 minute closure here on these NASDAQ shorts. See if we can retrace, see if we can trace a bit lower here. That'd be nice.
Oh yeah, I did journal and it was all in Excel. Like again, for me, I'm pretty savvy when it comes to just like using a computer and tech. So for me it was just like Notepad not the best. And I did do start, but I just would lose it and I'd misplace it and it'd be useless. So I did everything in Excel. This was before the days of like TradeTeller and Notion though, right? So nowadays I think like Notion is great. Um so yeah. Um to be honest with you, Sniper, I didn't quit my job till like 2.5 years ago. Um, s- and I'll answer the question truthfully because I know a lot of people will be like, "What? So what made you do it?" I was scared to quit my job. Like, I'd been burnt so heavy in the past, um, that I was genuinely scared. And also at the time, my mum wasn't very well. Um, like when I actually quit my job, there were a lot of actual external factors, but I was making good money at that point, to the point that I was like, it's not worth it. A couple of years prior, my brother-in-law died. I just realized that like I just wanted to live my life. Like there were a lot of things that made me think, yeah, I just need to do this. Like even if it doesn't work out, I can go and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So and I did at that point I was like, I don't need it. I could live comfortably as long as I'm not silly with the money. And then literally straight after that, I did the whole Rapex thing. So it was like, timing was everything.
Tagging out here. Taking my 11 points off this fair value. Looks like we're probably going to continue higher into these Asia highs now off this retracement.
All back into 50% of the inefficient range and
Yep, yep.
now going higher.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen people online that have literally quit their jobs off of having a few trading payouts. Like I understand the level of delusion, but also like one of the best things, and in like Kane's case, is having some level of Consistency outside of trading is going to help a lot in terms of not, if you have to think that every trading payout is going to be the make or break for you and whether or not you're going to have food on your plate, it's like maybe you should reconsider, right? I'm not saying don't trade, but I'm saying at least, have some backup options so you're not putting yourself in a position where that becomes your only like stressed reality, right? Because then the
Oh,
psychology side is what's really going to start nipping you. So. Oh yeah, by the way, congrats on your graduation, Leo. I appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you. Yeah, finally, it's about time. It is about time,
sorry,
isn't it?
I realized that my screen had been set to my old screen, and when I obviously had to restart Zoom, I didn't reshare my screen. No one told me, guys. You should just tell me that stuff. Thanks, Alex. Jeez. Um, yeah. Congrats on your graduation, by the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you. After getting payouts, how do you guys recommend me to manage my money percentage wise? Like your payout money or the money left within your account? Biggest thing is save money for taxes. Save money for taxes before anything. That's the biggest thing that people forget about. Payout money isn't non-taxable. I wish it was. I wish it
Yeah.
wasn't taxed, but
Seen a lot of people go broke because they couldn't pay their taxes.
yeah. So save some for taxes. Yeah, man. Welcome to the Engineers Club. Yeah, dude. There we go.
He's a rocket scientist now.
Rocket scientist. I'll start putting that. I started rebrand, guys. Instead of Leon Vest, I just named myself Rocket. No, it's actually too similar to like. I think there's like Rocket Scoot or somebody. They do tax you a lot. They do indeed. It's actually the reason I'm moving to Florida, guys. Your boy has to pay California taxes. Not fun at all. Honestly, if Apex is the best, if not what's better, honestly, I have to say, I think Lucid right now is taking the cake for me in the scene. I think Lucid is just really doing the proper approach to what a prop firm is meant to be. Everything from the payout cycles, how quickly you can get payouts, the rules, the account types. I think they're definitely in my personal opinion, I could be biased, but I think that they're definitely one of the best in the scene right now. Why not Dubai for a few years? I mean, citizenship issues and also like the U.S. is cracking down on that a bit. So unless I want to give up my U.S. citizenship, which I think is relatively powerful, there's a couple reasons as to why
Oh
I'm not.
yeah. You should never do that.
Yeah,
Listen, the Dubai thing doesn't exist for US
yeah,
citizens because they have to pay taxes wherever they live to the US government,
yeah.
irrespective of where they reside. So the only way to to not do that is to give up your passport. So it's never worth it in any
Not worth it at
situation.
all.
So you may as well live in a tax efficient state.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing Florida since I don't have to pay state tax. Because California is by far the worst, especially for trading. So that's I'll be based in Tampa with none other than T Trades, which will be fun. Leo Mr. Worldwide. And then eventually we'll get the house with the misses in London, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna move. I don't know where, and it will be somewhere that's tax efficient, I'm sure. But
Yeah,
I love the UK, so it won't be too far.
same. Pop back to the Midwest match, midweek match. There we go. Wait, what's Frank saying? Why not PR tax free if you live there 6+ months? Yeah, PR wouldn't be too bad. But also, like, I don't know how the connect. I mean, yeah, PR is definitely not. PR is a really good one. I mean, everybody's there right now. It's becoming a hub. Switzerland's also nice. PR though, I think it's kind of just a convenience thing for me too. Because if you consider like PR in comparison to Miami, right? Miami and Tampa slash Florida is just a general hub for people. PR as well, I guess a little more, but PR feels more like you've already made a lot of your wealth and you're trying to find a location that is reliable, but it's less that there's less to do there. Like in Florida, I'm excited to live there because I think there's a large network of traders and people I can connect with, and because I'm still, I'm newly graduated, right? I wouldn't say I'm early on the trading years, but in terms of my experience in the scene, like, social branding and also just generally trading wise, technically, it's like I think there's a lot I can gain from being within closer proximity of other traders, which I feel like would be there's a little less of that in Puerto Rico. Maybe I'm mistaken entirely, but that's kind of just how it feels for myself.
How much would you save by making it more tax efficient? I'm not sure who that question's at, but without divulging exactly how much you make, giving away the number is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But what's the state taxes in California right now?
It's like I mean in total it's like 38.4 to 38.8%.
And if you moved to Florida, how much was the
Oh, I'm
total?
not paying state tax, so I'm only paying federal, which is nice.
So state tax in state tax alone in California is 38%.
Oh no, no, I was talking like total tax for it. It's about 12 to 13.3%.
So
It's
yeah,
a
so
it's a
then
progressive
federal
income tax.
taxes is like 20.
Yeah, about 20 to 24 depends on your bracket.
Yeah, so basically it drops 10 to 15%.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
massive margins for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine like going from like 45, 50 to zero.
Plus plus also the reason as well is you also have self-employment and a bunch of other issues. Like California is it's a great place. Don't get me wrong. Like I love California as a whole. The only issue is just like taxes. Like in my mind, it sounds really funny, but I take the really conservative approach every single time that I, make money or I'm pulling out trading profits from my personal account or whatever it might be. Immediately, just I mentally strip off 50 to 60% of my profits. Like I just assume, all right, 50 to 60% I'm either paying back to taxes or I'm saving a portion of it or whatever it might be. So it's nice, but it's definitely a lot considering, I mean, California. Yeah, and not to mention the cost of living is so much higher. Like it's insane. I just for some like fun facts, but in the UK I was on a climbing trip with some friends and a few of them were saying like they're full vet students and it's like a full vet salary in the UK is like 40K to 50K pound for somebody that's been a full-time vet for 2 to 3 years. And that's, working 60 to 80-hour weeks, sometimes working from 2 to 4 a.m. random windows. And like 40 to 60K in California, you would be in poverty. Like I hate to say that, but if you were making 40 to 60K salary, like either you're living in accommodation with a boatload of people and it's very bare bones, but like it's quite insane. Like if you want to live relatively comfortable in California, it obviously depends on where I'm more based near San Francisco, but to live even closer to the city, like you're really looking and wanting to push for easily above 125, 150,000 a year to be like like relatively comfortable. But if you want to be extremely comfortable in California, like you're talking 250K plus. Bro, once you make 1 mil here, you pay 55% taxes. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
horrible.
more like 52, but yeah,
That's
it's above
horrible.
50, yeah.
Where is this? Is that
It's in
in
London, bro. Yeah.
that's in London? Woof.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's screwed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And what are taxes below the 1 million barrier?
Um, so let me
I can also
just
search it up as well.
it's okay, I can tell you.
All right.
Basically the first I think it's 12,500 is tax free.
Okay.
And then above 12 and a half and below 50 now is 20%.
Okay.
And then above 50 to 125 is 40.
Jeez.
Over 125 is 45.
45%?
Yeah, and then
Holy crap.
above 100 there's actually like there's like a secret middle bracket where when you earn above 100 you lose what's it called? You lose there are like some benefits you get from
Yeah.
like tax breaks you get. You lose all those tax breaks.
Dude, what?
And then above there's like another one that like is not really spoke about, but above like 500K, your national insurance contributions go up and um you lose like another 12%.
That's absurd. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So 12% off the 40. So
Yeah,
you
that's
basically jump another 7% on that.
that's
So
insane.
yeah, so basically you you quickly end up paying 50% plus in taxes. Bearing in mind, that's not actually like okay, so actually let me just break it down for a lot of people that don't understand. That actually isn't the problem, right? That isn't the actual problem. The problem is like your money is taxed and then you pay high taxes on everything else. So like fuel has like a 70% tax on it. So like when you see your fuel bill go up like 20 cents a liter, it's actually going up such a micro amount, but because it has so much taxes on it, it jumps so much.
Mm.
So things like that. Um, alcohol tax, there's a higher tax on alcohol. So basically anything you actually do and enjoy, there's also another high percentage of tax on that. So then you're paying a lot in taxes, and then the amount you actually spend that ends up flowing back to the government ends up being a high amount. So on average, a person that earns above 100 grand a year, a percentage of their income that flows back to the government is around 80%, which is just fucking criminal,
That's
by the way.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, all right. I thought I had it bad, but for the US, I have it pretty bad. California is by far one of the worst.
Yeah, and then you
That's
can't go out in London, like, because
yeah,
you just get, you know,
yeah, it's insane.
it's not the safest place in the world anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just absolutely, it is criminal, you know. Thought process on this long, divergence off the 4 hour low. We already traded 300 points higher, off of it throughout Asia. So naturally, I'd want to find a point that makes sense. We got a good reaction off of here at one. We've basically traded in this downslope move, spike, pull back, buy, and then basically evaporate through. Target would have been Asia high, like full term, but I would have, like I said to everyone, I would have got out at midnight. I didn't take it. I haven't taken any trades today. Um, but that would have been the one and done. I would have walked after that.
Yeah. Um, minute three continuation sequence just played out as well to full 1.5 R. So it's a heads up.
London isn't bad. I genuinely just have to disagree. Like it's like, as someone that, you know, drives a nice car, wears nice things, has expensive jewelry, watches, I don't want to go to London. Like,
Yeah, once again, just to sort of pull through this 3 minute analysis. So what we saw, we haven't seen Asia highs yet. I'm still looking for Asia highs. So probably post London session, we'll see this since we are coming to the close on this session here. Saw this sweep out occur. So 4 o'clock swept at the 3 o'clock. C2 confirmed, formed an imbalance, traced into it immediately right after the C2, formed a change in state of delivery. Confirmation. So traced into this 3 minute fair value gap, respected it, closed below at the 421. And now the full 1.5 R has played out. So this is exactly what I mentioned with those continuation signatures with you guys. Small trade though, it's about 29 points, but that's how exactly kind of the framework for these setups.
yeah, that's how you trade.
Yep. It's literally exactly how I trade.
Oh, this is all NQ, right? We're literally just looking at NQ, Stella. Bing, yeah, I agree with you. I love London. London's fun. It's great. Like, I agree. You know, if you don't go and wear like expensive stuff and you know, commute into London or whatever, it's a lot of fun. But like to put into context, Lando Norris got robbed of his personal RM that was made for him. That watch is actually worthless to anyone other than him. You can't sell that to anyone. No one's gonna buy that. And they robbed him of it for no for what? Like it's actually worthless.
Yeah, anybody who tries to resell it to is gonna know the value of the watch
Exactly. Like
that it's
that watch
his.
is
They're
so
not gonna
unique.
buy it. And where'd you get that from? Lando Norris?
Yeah, it's so unique that any person that would want it knows where it's from, that they wouldn't want it anymore. You know?
Or report you to the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of American candy shops. Yeah, there's those fronts, eh? That's so crazy, by the way. You walk down Oxford Street and there's like 400 American candy shops selling fucking sweets on the most expensive real estate in the country. It's actually crazy, by the way. It's such a front. It's so nuts that
So
that's a
true.
thing. And the thing is, as someone that's been to London quite a lot recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see so fucking many of them.
Oh my God. Run 20K a month for some Skittles. Yeah, dude. Some
Oh,
Skittles
bro,
with
it's more.
some gummy sharks, dude.
Listen, it's got to be more than that. Like Oxford Street is one of the most prestigious
Hmm.
like shopping streets in the world, and there are like 100 of these just like random souvenir candy stores. Like
Gotta
they're
be.
probably paying like 50K a month in rent.
Chat, what do we think? Is this some form of money laundering?
I think so.
Probably. It's like how I feel about like the carpet shops. I don't know if you guys ever see the carpet shops around. Like never see a customer in a carpet shop, and I always wonder. I walk around. They have a lot of those in London as well. I'm like, there's so many of these like luxury carpet shops, and then you look inside, like, there's not a soul in here.
Yeah,
Every single time I've walked past one, the most I've maybe seen was like, a happy couple that just, is walking into some riches and wants a really nice, $20,000 Persian rug. Then sure, that makes sense. But like, damn.
pays for rent for the month. They just need to sell one.
Yeah, that is true, honestly. But it's like at that point, chat, maybe that's the next business idea, starting a marketing team for these rug stores. Like the 1,000 DMs I get on Instagram of saying, here's how I can scale your personal brand. Can I scale your personal brand? I made this little loom link for you. Watch this. Yeah, people do buy carpets, I know, but Persian carpets are very pricey. Yeah, you're talking like 5 to 50K. The kebab shops are amazing though. I can't even lie. The markup on Twizzlers is outrageous. Didn't even know we had a markup on Twizzlers. It's absurd. Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of just hands off here. I'll probably just be back hands on during New York session, but as of London, gave two takes here. Um, so I'm honestly hands off on the trades for today, or at least for right now. Once again, though,
I'm
if
done
you
as
guys
well.
haven't liked the stream, make sure you guys are liking the stream. We got 172 of us. See if we can at least get the stream to about 130, even 150. That'd be crazy margins, but. Question for both of you lads. If you could only trade London, New York, which would you trade? GC only, NQ only, or both? Okay, so two questions there. One, I would trade New York session for myself personally. It's the one that's worked the best for me. Slightly more volatility, trading after 10 o'clock. So New York for me would be probably my preferred session. Although London if London moves nice, London moves very nice. And for typically London is less affected by geopolitical news than New York session. We also have less high impact news, like there's no Powell, there's no FOMC. It's a lot less affected by high impact. So New York for myself though. And which would I trade? Honestly, back from the October and December of last year, I would have said GC only because gold was literally just, buy the retracement and sell it at the highs. Like it was fantastic. As of right now, I would still say NASDAQ is my preferred. So New York session and NASDAQ would be my two session and asset to trade. For the New York session later today, I believe Alex, Kane, and then Bray's doing PM session, I believe. So does it sometimes? No. Thanks for the stream, guys. Good trading and see you at the open. See you at the open, boss man. You could comfortably trade both London, New York, AM. Oh, but appreciate it. That's fine. Zays, yeah, I comfortably trade both. I love London session. London is my second favorite session. New York and then London. Asia, typically not a fan of, although gold does play really nice in Asia. I'm a fan. Yeah, I can definitely trade London and New York well. I mean, my model works for both sessions very well. So Yeah, guys. Also, just to talk more purpose, like for these streams, it's really we want to provide the best educational value to all of you, right? Those of you coming on, asking questions, being engaged with chat, this is exactly what one of these visions was with the Lab Live is we really wanted to ensure that we could provide education to all of you, right? Accessibility to education and in front of all of you guys, Kane, myself, Bray, Alex, Juno, all these folks within the Lab Live, like we just want to be here trading and providing maximum education for you guys. So, least you can do, like the stream and subscribe or share it. If you have a friend trying to get into trading, send them to Lab Live, right? But yep.
I think we'll wrap it up here, boys. Leo, got anything to add?
Yeah, I've nothing else to add here. I'm hands off until New York session, but good
Same, yeah.
London session. Gave two takes, one win, one loss here. So we'll consider that break even for right now, although I'm very, very slightly green as of right now. But yeah, guys, wonderful stream segment. Thank you all for being engaged and just asking all the questions, staying in chat, liking the stream, subscribing, and supporting. Don't forget code LAB for any evals that you guys are planning on purchasing. But yeah, anything on your end, Kane?
Nothing. Appreciate you, boys and girls. Quiet session. I kind of expected with a bit large overnight move. Pretty expansive move. Pull back in 50%. Kind of expected higher now. I'm not looking to actively touch it. Um, so yeah, overall, we took out the previous day low. We got a good put. We got a pretty strong move up. I don't think that we come back for this low. Seems like a pretty good low now. Um, and then yeah, we had this balance. Bought off the low, sold off the high. Now buying back off the midpoint. I mean, just to bring this into very basic terms, right? You've just got the high, you got the midpoint. It's just rejection, support. Now trying to find support and then work its way back through. It's just a slower one. If you're in it, you could hold it. Just manage your risk, and we'll see you all at New York. Appreciate you guys. See you very soon.
Alrighty, guys. Have a great
Ciao.
day. See you guys.